you have to look at most of the games. So if this guy, let's say, does a lot of damage in one game, that doesn't really mean anything. You have to check most of the games and see that in most of the games he doesn't do as much damage. Like look, he has 17 kills, he does 43,000 damage in a 34 minutes. That is not good. 70, you can do this with 5 kills with Draven. Then again, you have to look at a bit of what is the CC that they have. Okay, it's annoying to play against Tahm annoying to play against Cho'Gath, but it's like Udyr. Who's gonna kill you, Udyr? Or then people will be like, oh, Camille can kill him. Camille was 3-9. He has Zillion support. He does this damage. Okay, you can think about these things as well, but you're not a coach, so it's a bit hard to like make this kind of like complex you know, connection. So what I recommend you personally is just to look at the big picture, damage and farm in conjunction to each other. What's going on, guys? This is IC, and in today's video we're gonna learn how to do OPGG review properly for AD carry. So if you want to look at your stats, if you want to check to see what you're doing wrong, like some basic things of OPGG review, this is the video for you. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, because I'm going to show you today, after doing over 4,000 of OPGG reviews and coaching over 4 years people with ranks from bronze to challenger, I'll show you how I do it, and I'll show you how I actually do this OPGG review. You can do it at home as well. So let's take a look at it. So first I look at what rank is the guy. This is the most important thing, obviously. And of course, so let's say this example, he's silver 1. The second thing I see, his win rate, his overall win rate, 55%. This is actually quite good. People that have 48% win rate, people that have 50% win rate, 47, 49, they either tilt very hard and they lose games, they play on lose streaks, they don't take breaks, or there are people that make big fundamental mistakes. They make coin flips, they make decisions that can work, they can win the game at the spot, but they can also lose the game right then and then. Right, so people that have this specific win rate, sorry, it's a bit concerning. So yeah, they do have like a lot of big fundamental issue. Usually, of course, if you have like 20 games this season and you have 50% win rate or 30% win rate, it's not concerning. If you have like over 120, 250, like in between that spot, let's say, if you have over 100 and you have 40%, 45% win rate, 49% win rate, that is a bit concerning. Yes, that is a bit concerning. If you have like, you know, you played the season like max 50 games, you shouldn't be really caring about the overall win rate yet. The second thing, I look at the champion's win rate. So he has 53, 67. Obviously, what it matters is how many games he played. So this guy played 64 games and then he plays 15 games. So I can already see that he's a Draven one-trick pony. This would usually mean he doesn't have very good fundamentals on other champions. So players like this, from my experience, they are very good on their champion, but when they play something else, they are very bad players. Like this guy has 7 deaths, 8 deaths, 7 kills on Ashe. I'm very surprised that he's very good Caitlyn, and on Kai'Sa he's kind of average. So we're going to expect that this guy doesn't have very good knowledge about AD carry in general. He's very good at Draven, but to be good at bot lane, you kind of need to understand support and you kind of need to understand AD carry. So this guy, if he really wants to improve, he needs to play a bit of support as well. I'm sure he doesn't know the cooldowns very well and the range of the champions very well. Usually this is why these people have only, let's say, 53% win rate. For one trick, 53% win rate is not very good. I think he's kind of knowing his champion. I think you can get 50, 55 only knowing your champion. If you know your champion very well, especially for one trick, you can get 55. And then if you also know the fundamentals, then you can go to 60. I've seen a lot of diamond, even gold, honestly, emerald, like one trick ponies that have over 55% win rate. So I look at the win rate. This number, like the overall win rate, can tell me a lot of things about the player, and if it's below 52, it's already concerning. But then I look at what champs he plays. This guy is, again, straightforward. Some people, they actually have this kind of OPGGs where they have quite similar amount of games on their champs, like look, 16, 9, 6. And of course, if you don't have so many games like this guy, you look at the last season to see, like, okay, what happened last season, because you will have more sample size. Yeah, this guy is also of kind of one trick. He plays 34 games on Jhin and then only 12 games on Jinx. Again, concerning, because Jhin is a bit of a champion that he develops bad patterns to you. He is not really an on-hit AD carry. We see that when he plays Jinx, he dies 7 times per game. Usually players that play Jhin, player that plays Ezreal, like you know, as main, people that play Lulu, Sona, main, they are very bad players. They do have a very bad understanding of the game. So we can see like a big picture here. But his win rate is very good, so he has good potential on his champion. But obviously this guy needs to change his champion pool. Jhin as a main pick is only good if you have minimum one, if not two, consistent AD carry on hit, like Ashe or Jinx. He plays mainly Jhin, and I think he's probably gonna get back to Emerald 3. But as you guys can see, he's like from 2022 to 2024, he got from Platinum 2 to Emerald 3. I mean, you can do that in a week, right? And people that got coaching from me, there are people that got in a month from Platinum to Diamond 4, right? In a month. So we have people here that were Silver, and in a month, like this guy got Emerald 4 in a month. So of course it's coaching, and coaching is different because it's personalized and it can help you a lot. So if you really want to improve and you really want to get better, definitely go ahead to besides.com, book coaching session, try it out one time. It's gonna work for you very nice. So check out that out. Are you having trouble converting your early game advantages into wins? Feel like your damage output is lower than it should be, and you feel like you're putting in the work but you're not seeing really the results? My name is Bizais, with a track record of coaching over 3,659 players with ranks between Iron and Challenger. Here is what I've accomplished with my clients. Right here you can see Silver 1 to Emerald 4 in 1 month time with 1 coaching session. This guy right here got to Grandmaster in NA after when the first coaching session we've done, he was hard stuck in Diamond 2. Alex right here, he was Gold 4 1 year and a half ago, and he got to Grandmaster 800 LPP after the coaching session. Here is his master account after just being a gold player a year and a half ago. This is what the coaching session can do to your gameplay. And here is something that you might find inspiring. I've personally climbed from Iron to Diamond with dealing with 200 ping. Now I'll actually get Master Tier with 200 ping on this account that you're gonna see right now. As you can see right here, this is Emerald 1 with very decent win rates on some of the champions, and I'm playing pretty well in high Emerald to low Diamond. And I actually play Ezreal as well, as you guys can see right here, and I'm not really scared. If I can achieve this against high Emerald players and low Diamonds playing with such a huge handicap, 200 ping Ezreal, imagine what we can accomplish together with you playing under optimal conditions. Are you ready to see the real progress that you can do? Go to besides.com and book your coaching session now. Let's improve and get better together. Okay, so the win rate of the champions, we can see that very high on one champ and then kind of low on the other champions. So it is a bit of a red flag already. So let's take a look. Let's do a proper one. So let's see. Okay, not the challenge one. Let's say the silver. We already said that he has the win rate that he has right here. Pretty decent, you know, overall win rate. But on Draven, he has only 53. The next thing I see is his KDA. He has 9 kills per game on a Draven, which is above average for sure. People that have here on a champion like Tristana, Draven, or but even on like Vayne, if they have below 7, it is a bit concerning because that means they actually don't take kills, they don't go aggressive, they just play too safe. A 9 kill on Draven is quite good. I think it's above average for sure in silver. Of course, this guy was platinum, so maybe he's platinum, the real rank. Then I look at his deaths, because some people, they get like 10 kills, but they die like 8 times. So 9 kills with 6 deaths is not that bad. I think the sweet spot is 5, but it really depends on how many kills you have. I see players that have 6 kills, like they have 6 kills and they die like 6 times per game. That is horrible, honestly. But if they have like 10 kills, like this guy almost 10 kills and he has 6 deaths, it's not concerning. This is his playstyle. It's an aggressive playstyle. I also see players that have, you know, 6 kills per game and like 2 deaths. Not that bad, but in general, players that play for KDA, like this guy, if you have a lot of green KDAs, you should be concerning. Like 90% of the people that I coach that have blue and yellow and green KDA here, they play overwhelmingly safe. We did yesterday a coaching session with this guy. This is his gameplay after the coaching session. This is the first game, second game. We did the coaching in this one when he showed me how he usually plays without help. And then this is what happened after the coaching session. He's winning quite a lot. Of course, he has lots of things to work on. But the bottom line is, if you have this kind of KDAs, look, 4 kills, 4 deaths, pretty concerning. He doesn't know how to play Ashe very, very well. I mean, of course, it's not a huge sample size, but 34 is, I mean, quite enough to, you know exactly what is going on. So yeah, kills and deaths, but it has to be in conjunction to each other. You don't only have to be like, oh, I have 6 kills, I'm doing bad. No, how many deaths, how much do you die? It's really important to look at that as well. Of course, if you have high KDA but you have low win rate, you're playing for KDA. If you don't have many games, then an OPGG is not useful. If you have like 20 games or something, it's not 30 games, not like, I think 50 to 60 absolute minimum, and usually it's more than 100. I would say I would recommend. But yeah, I mean, so like if you don't have games, this is quite useless. You shouldn't like check this for your gameplay. The second is the style of the guy, like his play style based on what he plays, and of course last seasons as well. So what I do, I go here and I see exactly what he plays. So this guy we already saw he plays mainly Draven, but I want to check last seasons as well how much he played. So we can see he's like kind of one trick pony Draven. So yeah, as I said, players like this, they don't really know much about like the game, the bot lane, the cooldowns. If I ask them about Blitz Hook, they won't know the cooldown, the range. They kind of know it, but not really. So this kind of people, they need to play support. They need to play different AD carries, and they're kind of stuck because playing one champion can help you, but can also like hold you back if you play specifically only that champion and you don't have a very good understanding about other AD carries and other supports. Then I look at the farm and I look at the damage, but farm and damage is always, it's always in conjunction to each other. So things like, oh, you know, I'm Emerald and what is the best farm I can have? You know, I'm having 8 farm, I'm doing good. No, you're not doing good if you have 8 farm per minute. What it matters is the farm and the damage. I see a lot of players like this guy, you know, he has 9 farm per minute, 8 farm per minute. And I showed him my current account. Okay, well, no, okay, this one is as well, but I showed him his AOS account and I showed him like a few like random AD carries, right? And I just clicked on it, and then I showed him, bro, these people, he has 7 farm per minute, 6.9, 7, 6.9. So you guys can see 7, 6, 7, 6. So he has 7, and then when I look at this guy, he has like 9.3, 8.3. It's like, what is going on? Do you ignore your teammates? And then when I check the damage, it is the Karma is actually doing a bit less damage than him. And this is a bit concerning because a lot of people are like, oh, my farm is good, but I don't do damage. Well, the reason why maybe your farm is good because you're spending too much time on the side lane and you're not grouping. So the moment I see the high farm, low damage pattern, it's always for a lot of AD carries. They come, they say, oh, I have so much good farm, you know, it's not really good farm if you stay on the side lane. I can be bronze 4, play civil, stay on the side lane, have 10 farm per minute, doing 0 damage. It's always check the damage and the farm in conjunction to each other. Okay, so this guy, let's say we check a game. As we can see, he has 8.5 farm, but he does 29k damage. 29k damage in 26 minutes. It's over 1000 damage per minute, which is extremely good. Of course, we also have this kind of bad games. Anyone has those, but you guys can see, look, in 21 minutes, he does 18,000, which is lower than 1000 damage per minute, but obviously a different guy. Look, this guy done 15,000 damage in 23 with Draven. Again, we're talking about Draven, okay? And okay, she plays against Alistar with Ashe. Also, this matters a lot, but just the big picture. And you need to see, of course, in some games it's not applicable what I'm saying right now, but you have to look at most of the games. So if this guy, let's say, does a lot of damage in one game, that doesn't really mean anything. You have to check most of the games and see that in most of the games he doesn't do as much damage. Like, look, he has 17 kills. He does 43,000 damage in a 34 minutes. That is not good. 70, you can do this with 5 kills with Draven. Then again, you have to look at a bit of what is the CC that they have. Okay, it's annoying to play against Tahm annoying to play against Cho'Gath, but it's like Udyr. Who's gonna kill you, Udyr? Or then people will be like, oh, Camille can kill him. Camille was 3-9. He has Zillion support. He does this damage. Okay, you can think about these things as well, but you're not a coach, so it's a bit hard to like make this kind of like complex you know, connection. So what I recommend you personally is just to look at the big picture, damage and farm in conjunction to each other. If you are between bronze and platinum, I think a 6.5 farm is good as long as you're doing the second, worst case, the second damage in the game. Usually I recommend 1000 damage per minute, but this is not very applicable if the game is like below 23 minutes. So you can use these stats, but again, just keep in mind that it's not going to work for every single game. I look at this guy, he does 25 minutes, look at his damage, 13,000 damage. And they don't have CC, they have Garen, Shyvana. Okay, they have Fiddlesticks, you can argue, but the guy was 110. So it's like, why is he not doing damage? Something is going on right here. And yeah, he's going to come to the coaching and he's going to say, oh, bro, I'm 6.7 is good in silver, right? Well, if you're doing damage, it can be good, you know? And if you're platinum plus, then you should have, I think you should have in your worst game 6.5. So usually you should have around 7.5. If you're averaging 8, sometimes that's fine, but you have to look at the damage, because if you're averaging 8 every game or almost every game and you're not doing damage, then you're probably on the side lane too much. It's really important to look at the farm and damage in conjunction to each other. Okay, if you're doing a lot of damage but you have 0 farm, that is not good. If you're having a lot of farm but you have 0 damage, that is absolutely bad. So keep that in mind. Of course, usually I look at the summon spells and the runes as well. Like we can see Zyra here. Ari, he should do cleanse, especially on a champion like Draven. He never takes cleanse here. Seraphim, you anyways cleanse immediately. The fact that they have Nico, it's a bonus, so he's autopiloting. Then his runes, I hope he doesn't go per level. Yeah, okay, some players they take this, and some players they take cut down when they shouldn't take cut down. On a champion like Draven is a bit different. So let's say this guy, Platinum 1, he plays against Volibear. I would go cut down here. He doesn't go cut down and he goes per level, which is horrendous. So it's not very good. PTA on Caitlyn is also bad. I mean, okay, you can look at the runes as well. You can look at also like stuff like he's losing games in a row. So this guy, I kind of like him. Look, he played 4 games. Okay, so here he had a bad game and he stopped playing. Okay, he stopped playing for 3 days. That's a bit too much. Usually I do 3 games in a row. If I have like bad games and I lose, then I take a break. So here you guys can see 15 days, 15 days, 15 days. So this guy played in a row. Look, he lost, and he kept playing. So this means he's probably a bit of autopilot, maybe a bit of a tilter. Not so good. Usually you lose 3 in a row, can happen. Look, this is my account. It happens, you know, people are better sometimes, but you see 3 loses in a row, boom, I don't play for 1 day, or like for that day, or I change my account and next day, boom, I go on Aram for a warm-up and I keep playing, you know, I try my best and everything. And I keep my win rate pretty solid. The win rate is a good indicator of, you know, how good you're doing. The win rate on the champions as well. Of course, you're not always going to have a good win rate and sometimes you're going to have a lose streak. So the win rate is like you're doing some blood analysis. It's like, it's going to tell you in that moment if you're doing okay, but in the future you can improve, you know, your gameplay, for example. So yeah, this is how I usually do VOD review. You know, I look if they play duo, usually how much they play, because there are players that play like every 7 days, which, you know, of course this game is about a lot about playing and, you know, improving and practicing. And really, if you want to improve and you want to climb, you need to put a lot of work. This is really the reality. Things like, okay, kill participation and vision score, and it can matter, but I don't personally look at it because until master tier, okay, if I coach grandmaster, usually I look at these things as well sometimes. But if I coach like what? If I coach the diamond, emerald, like this elo, that are good, but it's like you need to look at the biggest basic mistakes first before anything else. Yeah. And just don't do the OPG just looking at the farm or looking at the damage or looking at the vision score and like, oh, I'm an AD carry, I do vision score. No, farm is the most important, damage is the most important. Like 2 things, okay? These things, while the KDA and the win rate will help you a lot. So this is how I personally do OPG review. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. Hope you like this. Definitely check out the coaching. If you didn't book coaching session, absolutely missing it out. You have to try it. It's absolutely amazing and you will improve it so much. There are so many people here, AD carry mains, they book coaching and they're so happy. Like this guy, for example, I think he was around gold when he first booked coaching. I think he did 1 or 2 coachings and in a year he got diamond. And he's like, what, in a year? That's a scam. Well, I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna say to you that you're gonna get a day after the coaching, you're gonna get from bronze to challenger. You have to put the work. This is the reality. So you have to keep in mind that, of course, that it takes time, but it's definitely most of the players in a year, they wouldn't be able to get from gold to diamond anyways, right? So you can do it as well if you put the work. And yeah, check out the coaching as well because it's gonna help you a lot. And yeah, hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye, guys. $5. If you have problems improving and getting better in the game faster but you cannot afford booking coaching, on my Patreon you can access more than 627 VOD reviews, premium videos about how to wave management, mid-game macro, and tier lists that will show you the best champions to climb and to improve for your elo. And these are not on YouTube, this is only on Patreon, they're exclusive. Moreover, you can participate in the free coaching waiting list to get a premium VOD review. I'm giving away 2 free VOD reviews every single week. All what you need to do is simple 2-step process. Subscribe to my Patreon and share your OPGG and voila, you are on the waiting list. You're gonna get a personalized VOD review for any game in your match history. For just $5, you get not only the free VOD review, but a whole bunch of exclusive benefits that will supercharge your gaming experience. It's a small investment for a big return. And it's just $5, it's no brainer, right? But here is the deal, you've got to act quickly. The waiting list is already filling up fast. 55 people already subscribed to the Patreon and there are 6 people that they already are on board, they are on the waiting list. And more are joining every moment. Now, do you want to secure your spot for a free VOD review? Go ahead on my Patreon and reserve it right now.